Today we're going to be talking about shades of meaning. By the time you're done with this module, you will know how to use words, particularly adjectives, within your writing, and also how to understand reading those adjectives and their meaning. We do have words that mean similar things, but some are what we call stronger words and some are what we call weaker words. They all have their purpose within our writing, but we need to know when to use such words that mean the same thing. Now, when I'm talking about shades, I'm not talking about the shades that you pull down on your window. I'm not talking about finding shade under a tree. I'm talking about what the feeling of these words give us and how they're each portrayed. It's more like shades of color when we're talking about different colors and how they make us feel and what we would use them for. Those lighter colors you use to make people feel more happy, and those darker colors we use to make people feel a deeper emotion, a darker emotion, such as sadness or anger, things like that. You've learned about these sorts of things in art. Now we're going to be using them shades for words. We're going to be using shades for those adjectives that we've learned about in the past. We're going to be using them in our writing. We're going to be using them when we read to understand and comprehend what our authors are trying to tell us, or what you want to portray as an author when you are an author yourself. So let's go back to that idea of using it in our shades of color. So when we look at this shade, we think of the summer sky and how it makes us happy and things like that. Most of us. Some may not, but this is what we call a cornflower blue. And then when we look at our next color, it's a darker blue. It's more of a navy blue, which gives us more depth, and pulls our emotions to a different situation. So when we look at these, we have this lighter, darker cornflower blue, and then we have this darker navy blue. And when we're looking at them, we're thinking of different thoughts. We're thinking of different places we could put them in pictures and paintings, what we could use them for, how we could make them people feel. Just like that, we would do the same thing for our words, our adjectives. For example, a cornflower blue might be happy, right? And that would be just a basic, what we like to call the weaker words. And even those weaker words have a purpose, where we could use that dark blue and get that deeper feeling of ecstatic, where you're really, really happy, that you're more in-depth word, your stronger word, as we would like to call it. So when we're using these, we're going to be using those lighter words, those words that we're used to using all the time that are very common, that are a little bit less, give you a little bit less emotion. We're going to be calling those weaker words, even though I don't really like that, because they do have a purpose. And then we're going to be using those higher end words, those what we call third grade words, ecstatic, excited. All of those mean something similar, but they give you a little bit more in depth of a feeling, and we're going to call those stronger words. although they're not necessarily stronger or weaker within our writing, but they're going to give you a different feeling within the writing. This is what we're going for. By the end of this module, you will be able to understand what these words mean, how we mean them, and what they're going to make you feel within your writing so that you can use them within your writing, or you can read them and know what your writer, the author that you're reading, is trying to tell you, trying to convey. So when we're talking about shades of meaning within writing, this is really what we're talking about. We're talking about these adjectives, these similar sounding, similar adjectives, synonyms, as we like to call them, but these synonyms that have give you different feelings within writing, even though they have a similar meaning to them. So hopefully by the time you are done, by the time we get to this final assessment, you will be able to determine which words are weaker and which words are stronger within others' writing, as well as what you can create within your own.